What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today's main deck Monday, and today we're looking at a Virizion Genesect Raichu deck. Now, if you've known me for the past 2 years, you would know that Virizion Genesect is probably one of my favorite decks around. It's gotten me over 500 to 600 championship points in the past 2 years, so it's a very, dear deck to my heart. But let's go over the deck real quick. We have Virizion here. It has the ability Verdant Wind. Each of your Pokemon that has a grass energy attached to it can't be affected by special conditions. So it can't be poisoned, sleep, confused, paralyzed, which is pretty cool there. Basically nullifies the Hypnotoxic Laser, which I love this. That's the reason why I love Virizion Genesect, just because it messes up the Hypnotoxic Laser so much. And then you have Emerald Slash 50, and you may search your deck for 2 grass energies and attach them to one of your bench Pokemon, shuffle your deck afterwards. And of course, depending on the situation, you either attach it to the Genesect, which Genesect has the ability Red Signal. When you attach a Plasma Energy from your hand to this Pokemon, you may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with his or her active. So it's basically like a Lysander or Catcher, but you can just attach an energy and basically use it that way, which is a pretty cool combo by itself. And then it has Mega Cannon, 100 damage, does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so 120. Not so great. It's an okay attack. It's not the worst. It's not the best. But what you're going to use here is G-Booster. G-Booster does 200 damage, and you can attach this card to any Pokemon, but it can only work on Genesect EX, and that's it. It can't be. You can attach it to Virizion, Pikachu, Raichu, Deoxys, Mr. Mime, but the only Pokemon that could use it is actually the Genesect. So G-Booster does 200 damage, and you discard 2 energies attached to this Pokemon. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on the defending Pokemon. So that means it goes through Suicune, it goes through Sigilyph, it goes through Hippowdon's attack, it goes through Klingklang's ability. Basically, you can knock out whatever you want to with the G-Booster. It does 200 damage, which is a pretty cool effect there. And that's the reason why I like this deck so much, is just because you can knock out almost any Pokemon you want to. But also, when you Emerald Slash, you could attach it to Raichu here. Raichu does Circle Circuit. This attack does 20 damage times the number of your bench Pokemon. Once you have 5 in play, you can do 100 times that by 2, 200. Slap a Muscle Band on it, you're doing 120 times that by 2, 240, which knocks out a Mega Rayquaza. And the reason why this is so important is because this deck almost auto loses to Mega Rayquaza. You don't really have an answer. It's just really fast. It's going to knock out your Genesect. You can't even one-shot a Mega Rayquaza with a G-Booster unless you have like multiple Deoxys put down, which is pretty bad. So that's why we have Raichu in here, just so you can knock out the Rayquazas, and you can knock out Suicunes too. If your opponent plays like multiple Suicune, like the Wailord decks, then you're going to lose because you can't actually G-Booster that many energies away, and you have to use Raichu instead, which is pretty cool. And then Raichu is a non-EX attacker, so you can knock on an EX with Raichu. Let's say you have a Muscle Band on Virizion, you do 70 damage, and the next turn you can bring up Raichu, do 100, you can knock out a Pokemon with 170 HP, and then they're staring down at Raichu. That's not an EX attacker, so they either have to knock it out or license around it to knock out an EX there, which is pretty cool. You play 1 Jirachi here just for Stellar Guidance, search deck for supporter card, 1 Deoxys, and this is just for the Power Connect. Your Plasma Pokemon do 10 more damage. We don't play any Psychic Energy, so don't worry about Helix Force. And the main reason why we play this is you can do some cool plays. Let's say you're playing against Donphan. Donphan has 130 HP. You can do Mega Cannon, 110 and 20 to a bench Pokemon. The next turn, Lysander, Red Signal up, and then do 110 and 20 to another one. And that way you're knocking out 2 Donphans, which is pretty cool there. And then also 210 knocks out a Mega Manectric, which is a deck that's gaining popularity right now, so that we can just one-shot the Mega Manectric, which is a pretty cool combo. And then 1 Mr. Mime, just for the bench barrier, prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by attacks. And this is just shut down the Landorus deck. Landorus is a hard matchup by itself, but with Mr. Mime, it's maybe a little bit more winnable. And that's all the Pokemon here. 3 energy switch, and this is just a combined combo with G-Booster. Like I said earlier, when you G-Booster, you have to discard 2 energies, but with energy switch, you can, so you G-Booster, discard 2 energies, next turn attach an energy switch from somebody up to the Genesect, and G-Booster again, and if you could do this again, you can basically win in 4 turns, because you need a turn of Emerald Slashing, G-Booster, G-Booster, G-Booster to win the game. 1 Professor Later, just search your deck for 2 basic energies. If you have a Skyla turn 1, you get Skyla for Professor Later to get a Virizion, or to get a Grass Energy onto Virizion. 2 Switch, just to switch the active Pokemon with one of the bench. 1 Team Plasma Ball, and this is just in case you don't want to discard certain cards. You can Skyla for a Plasma Ball or an Ultra Ball, depending what your hand looks like. So you get Skyla for a Plasma Ball to get a Genesect or a Deoxys. 3 VS Seeker to reuse supporter cards, 1 Colors, 1 Lysander. Now we do play the 1 Lysander in the deck, just in case your opponent plays maybe a Silent Lab or plays Garbodor, you can Lysander something up and knock it out that way. 3 N, 4 Juniper, 1 Shadow Triad, and this is just get back a Plasma card from your hand from your discard pile into your hand, and you can use this to get back the G Booster, Plasma Ball, Deoxys, Genesect, Plasma Energy, Colress. Yeah, which is pretty cool there. You can get a bunch of cards back with the Shadow Triad. I really like it a lot. 3 Skyla, just search deck for Trainer card. 2 Frozen City. Now, some people might be questioning, why do I have Frozen City in here? Frozen City is a pretty cool card because it puts 2 damage counters on a Pokemon if they're not a Plasma Pokemon. And this actually helps some against the Groudon matchup and their Quasar matchup. If your opponent does attach an energy to a Groudon, if they play Focus Sash, their Focus Sash no longer works because they already have 2 damage counters on it. Against Rayquaza, the same thing. If they attach an energy to a Rayquaza with Frozen City out, now they're down to 200. Now you can actually G-Booster for a knockout, which is a pretty cool play right there. And plus, it just gets rid of Silent Lab and maybe a Skyfield. If your opponent has a bunch of Pokemon out on the bench, you can use you can get rid of the Skyfield with Frozen City. And that's why I think you have to play a Stadium here. You either play the Frozen City or Plasma Frigate, but Fire Pokemon aren't really that big nowadays, so I don't think the Plasma Frigate is really worth it. I like the Frozen City more just because you have, there's so many, like the 2 damage counters matter so much, and you get to decide when to put the Frozen City out, so you can make sure you don't damage your Virizion or Raichus. 1 G Booster, just like I said, it goes on Genesect. 3 Muscle Band here, and just because you could do an Emerald Slash for 70, next turn Mega Cannon for 100, knocking out a Pokemon with 170 HP, which is a pretty cool combo. 4 Plasma Energy, which just used with the Genesect here to bring up a Pokemon, and 10 Grass Energy, and that's the deck right now. Some of the cards you could put in here is Tool Retriever to get back tools, but there's not a lot of decks with Headringer. I'll probably kick myself for saying that, and then later on I'll play against a deck that has Headringer and put a Headringer on my Genesect of Rosian and be in trouble. But most decks that play Headringer are Seismitoad, and you should win that matchup either way just because of the weakness with Rosian and Genesect. And yeah, besides that, I think the Tool Retriever is the only thing that should be added in here. Now, if you are scared of Mega Rayquaza, you could switch out the Raichu line for a Ninetales line, the one with Barrier Shrine, I think that's what it's called. And that way, if they try to switch out their stadium, they can't because you have Ninetales out, which blocks that. But hopefully, enjoy the deck, and let's see it in action. Alright, so putting against Aero Creed, playing all Lightning decks, so maybe Mega Manectric. I can't think of an all Lightning deck besides that. Even the Raichu deck has, like, colorless Pokemon in it. Well, let's see here. Do we go first or second? That's the big question here. You usually want to go first with Virizion and Genesect just because you need to attach energy and then attach another energy to actually start attacking. So you need at least 2 turns before you start attacking here. Tails, we get to go first. Very nice. Alright. So we start a Virizion. We got a Grass Energy. I'm not going to put down the Deoxys yet just because I don't know what he's playing. So it looks like it's going to be a Mega Manectric deck. Alright, so here, I'm going to Team Plasma Ball to get a Genesect. Put the Genesect down. We'll put the Deoxys down. We'll Ultra Ball, discard the Ultra Ball and Plasma Energy, and hope that Jirachi's in the deck. Alright, sweet. Jirachi's in here. Okay, we'll put a Grass Energy to Virizion. We'll put a Jirachi down. Search our deck for a Juniper. And play it. We'll put the G Booster on the Genesect, and here we'll just Juniper. Alright, we'll put a Muscle Band to the active, and we'll just end our turn. Okay. So next turn, we got a Grass Energy attached to the Virizion. We can start Emerald Slash into the Genesect here. Maybe get another Genesect out with the Skyla for an Ultra Ball. The only problem... Oh, maybe I should put down the Frozen City. Put the 20 damage. The math doesn't really matter. We receive double Grass Energy from Professor Letter. We see an Ultra Ball, discard 2 Lightning Energies. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be a Mega Manectric kind of deck. But I might actually hold on the Frozen Cities. Oh, there's a Zekrom coming out, okay. But I might actually hold down the Frozen Cities until he drops a Rough Seas, if he plays one, and or a Burbank. Here we see Zekrom, Manectric coming out, Trainer's Mail. Now, will he get a Link here? He needs a Link, so that way next turn he can Mega Evolve. Here we see a Headringer coming down. Not really that useful. Silent Lab coming down, which is good. We have the Frozen City to counter it. And here we see a, what is called an Overrun. 20 to the active and 20 to the bench Genesect. So here we're going to attach a grass energy here. We're still going to hold on to the Frozen City. I'm actually going to Skyla for an Ultra Ball to get another Genesect out. And where's an Ultra Ball at? If there's an Ultra Ball in the deck. Okay, there it is. Is Shadow Chart in the deck? Okay, sweet it is. Alright. So here, I'll just Ultra Ball, discard the Professor Letter and the Virizion. Here I'll get another Genesect out. Raichu's not going to be that useful in this matchup. I mean, it could kill the Zekrom's or knock it out. But we'll just, I don't know. I mean, they have 130, so we need 6 Pokemon in the Muscle Band. So here we'll put down 2 energies onto the Genesect. The next turn we can retreat and actually knock out the Manectric with Genesect if he doesn't get a Mega Man out. And if he does get a Mega Manectric, we'll just Emerald Slash his other Genesect. Here we see a Lysander bringing up the Genesect here. Right now it's only going to do 120, not knocking us out. Yeah, there we see 120 damage. Alright, so we have 30 HP left, so he actually can't even knock us out with a Manectric next turn or an Outrage unless he drops a Muscle Band and plays the Overrun. So here I'm going to put down the Pikachu, Frozen City, and play the End. We just need to draw into an energy. Okay, sweet. We got the energy. We'll put a Muscle Band on Pikachu, and here we'll Overrun, or not Overrun, Mega Cannon, sorry about that, and do 20 to a Zekrom. I don't want to put on the Manectrics. I mean, we're putting 20 on the Manectric. I don't want to put 20 on the Zekroms because that way you can actually Outrage for a knockout. There we get 2 Pokemon. Genesect still has 30 HP left. So like I said, this Manectric's not going to knock us out unless he has a Muscle Band. There we see the energy coming down to put the Frozen City, putting 20 damage on it. So now he's 130 HP less left. So if we want to, we can actually knock out the Genesect with the, or knock out the Manectric with the Genesect with the Muscle Band. But I'm actually just going to retreat. Or if he keeps an active, I'm just going to G-Booster it. I wouldn't see why I wouldn't. So let's see. What does teammates get him? He needs a Muscle Band for sure if he wants to knock us out now. They receive a Rough Seas. Healing off the 30. Here we see a Head Rigger going down to the Genesect. Like I said earlier, as soon as I said, oh, there's a Muscle Band too. As soon as I knew as soon as I'm going to play a deck that is a Head Rigger, I would want a Tool Retriever. Here we see Enhanced Hammer, not really that useful. Acrobike. Okay. Alright, so let's see. We see 40 damage and 20 to the Pikachu. Alright, that's fine if he targets the Pikachu. We won't drop another one down. So if he targets that one, it doesn't really matter. So we'll put up the Virizion here. Now we know... Oh, there we go. I was going to say we know... Oh, we got Rough Seas anyway to heal the Pikachu. Okay, that's pretty nice. Thanks, buddy. Select... There we go, healing the Pikachu. Put the Genesect down, put an energy here. We have Coerce in the discard pile. We don't. We'll just end my opponent down. Okay, and here we'll just Emerald Slash for 70. Put 2 energies on this new Genesect here. And hopefully he doesn't put another Head Ringer down. Now he can heal going down to 120. And we can only do 110 next turn with the Genesect with Deoxys, but if we get a Muscle Band down, we can actually knock out this Manectric here. So here's 140, not knocking us out still, we still barely survive here. So I'm going to Skyla, and let's see, do we have a Muscle Band or not? Alright, we do, okay, nice. So here, we'll just put the Muscle Band down on this Genesect here, retreat to this Genesect, and here we'll Mega Cannon for 120, knock it, or 130, knock it out. We'll put 20 damage on a Zekrom. We'll keep this full R1 all nice and pretty. So I'll take 2 prizes here. So 2 to 4 prizes. The Zekrom can get knocked out whenever. Here we see Rough Seas healing the 20 off the Zekrom. But we can actually just one-shot it. 120 with the total and then 10 with the Deoxys. So here I will just... do we end them down to 4? Or would we keep our hands so that we have a Lysander and Plasma Energy? No, actually, I'm just going to Juniper here. Okay, that seems fine. We'll attach a Grass Energy to a Pokemon. I guess we'll attach it to the Deoxys because it does have a 2 retreat cost. And here we'll Mega Cannon for 130. Put 20 on the Zekrom here. Taking a prize card. 1 prize card left. Does he have something to retreat to actually make the to keep the Zekrom alive? But if he does, we have the Plasma Energy in hand, but he doesn't have anything here. So here, we'll see the Mega Cannon knocking out the Zekrom here and taking our last prize there. And there's a Virizion Genesect. We didn't even G-Booster? if I remember correctly. And so you don't even need G Booster, you can win games, even though the G Booster is really helpful. Just the combination of the Megalo Cannon with Deoxys to knock out some Pokemon. Here we got some XP, and yeah, we gained we completed the daily challenge with the grass stuff, gaining 30 tokens. Did we gain a level? Oh, nope. We still don't have the grass sleeves yet, but we still have the green Pokeball sleeves here. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. You kind of see the power of Virizion, Genesect, and why it's a really strong deck. You got the Frozen Cities to kind of counter the stadiums and put 20 damage on Pokemon. We saw it actually do 20 damage to the Manectric, even though he had the teammates for the Rough Seas. Just kind of got too excited with the energy. But thanks for watching. Hopefully, subscribe if you haven't. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye.